This Sunday we have a parable in our gospel that Jesus used to teach a lesson, as he did with all parables. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard. He came looking for fruit on it and found none. And so he said to the gardener, "See here, for 3 years I have come looking for fruit on this fig tree, and still I found none. Cut it down. Why should it be wasting the soil?" He replied, "Sir, let it alone for 1 more year, until I dig around it and put manure on it. And if it bears fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you can cut it down." So the fig tree had a particular goal, purpose. As all privilege has its perils, the fig tree didn't do what it was supposed to do. And so it had no right to exist, according to the gospel. And especially if it was planted and properly cultivated and watered. It's a very plain parable directed to leaders of Israel. They thought themselves as privileged people, given every opportunity to make something good and useful. And they were privileged with their lives, but they misused and misunderstood their position of privilege. They thought it was a sign of divine favor. In our society, too, we think of privilege in terms of money. And if we're privileged, these are the things that we expect. Grow up in a good home, that's a privilege. Good education is a privilege for us. Political freedom is a privilege. Healthy body and mind is a privilege. Clean water is a privilege. All privileges are freely given. Oh yes, we think we deserve it. Well, better than to deserve it is sometimes can be a tragedy, thinking that way. Education. The reason we have a good education is because it was given with us, to us, and doesn't mean we are smarter, even though we may think we are more intelligent than others. We forget that a better education usually means a better opportunity. Oh yeah, we think about money, more money and possessions. Many times we think we have that. We forget that we had better opportunities. And let's face it, most times the fortunate circumstances can be traced back to a privileged position. Many privileged people, and I'm sure you know them as well as I, they fail to feel the pain of less fortunate. And the problem is, privileged people can easily have the tendency to resist change. They want the status quo. Leave us alone. We're doing fine. But Jesus kept rocking their boat, and he kept needling them because they thought themselves as privileged people. And one of the most difficult tasks that we have, and we will face if we're privileged, is to be genuinely Christian in the midst of privilege. Come and see and pray with us Sunday.